Welcome to another video. I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we talk about narcissists and how they can actually shake your world a little bit, And I want to go a little bit into the definition, and I also want to say right up front that I believe that most of the time we are using this term, we are actually not really doing that person a favor, okay? I believe that there are not as many narcissists as we may think and as we may like to label them. I believe that's wrong. I believe that we all have some sort of traits in us that may look like a narcissist, but actually it's also a lot about getting back to the self, getting back to who you truly are. And that needs a little bit training, and sometimes we are just doing things the wrong way. And so I believe pointing fingers is not always in the absolute highest good. But anyways, we are going to talk about it, and I want to first give you a little bit an overview. And so I was just looking at my screen, at my other screen, to give you the right definition, because as you know, this is actually a disorder, a mental disorder. Now, I don't believe, once again, I don't believe that we all have it or that so many people have it as we are using this term, okay? So we have to be very, very careful when we are using it, okay? And so it goes actually as follows. Narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonable high sense of their own importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others. But behind this mask of extreme confidence, they are not sure, okay, watch out, they are not sure of their self-worth and are easily upset by the slightest criticism. Okay, so I want to dive into this very, very shortly. But before we do that, I want to announce something, and it's actually quite big, so I'm really, really excited. I want to give you already an update on the Women's Circle we are going to have very, very soon. Now, I thought actually to only do this in German, but it seems it resonates so much with my English audience too that I was like, okay, well, let's open it up on the same time, on the same date. What we will do is, because most of my English speakers are from the US, are from somewhere where I need an evening schedule, which is why we are going to schedule the morning calls, the morning video calls, the live calls, okay? We are going to schedule them for the Germans only, or for the German speakers only. And in the afternoon or / evening, we are going to have them in English. Now, if you are a Swiss German person or understanding Swiss German, but your time zone, blah, blah, whatsoever, works better in the evening, go and do it. Right? The price is the same. The whole setup is going to be the same. So you're not going to miss really anything. Now, what this circle is all about is I want people to, or especially women, to get closer to the group, to understand that, hey, there is actually someone else who may have similar pain or similar frustration in life, and it just really connects. Now, it's about working individually, working together. It's about finding your power. It's about letting go of what is not serving you. It's about what we are doing here, but we are doing it live, okay? It's about getting to the places you really want in life. It's about opening up. It's about letting things go the way that is best for you. All right. So with this little announcement, I want to let you know that this is going to be live very, very soon. I'm planning on 1st of Feb, and the start will be in March. So I don't know how everything is going to look like. We are still in the starting zones for this. But anyways, keep an eye open, have a look, and I will for sure announce it once everything is live. But there are already a few of you who are really excited and ask me pretty much every day. So this is what I can tell you now, okay? I'm trying my very best to be as fast as possible, but sometimes things just don't go the way I want. So I'm pretty sure 1st of Feb I will be ready. I will be announcing everything, and you will see what this whole thing, this whole idea is all about. And if we are meeting the first time, then my name is Patricia. I'm a coach. And what we are doing here is we are raising our awareness to things in life that we didn't really want to see until now, maybe. And it takes a lot of courage to get there. It's not something that has been in our world. It's not something that has been or was accessible in our school system, for example. We've never really learned how to deal with things that make us really sad, trauma maybe. Now, trauma itself, to really give you the bigger view, is not really about the event itself. It's about the story that you create over the years about that exact event, which is very individual, which is also why maybe your sibling, for example, has zero problem with the event, has zero pain, has zero, maybe they do, but they are dealing with it totally different. And so I find this very, very fascinating. And see, when this has happened to me, I was looking desperately. I really can say I was looking desperately for some kind of help. I knew that the normal way of just talking about it and just like expressing how I feel wouldn't really help, because I was already doing this pretty much all my life. I never really shut down. I've always talked. Like, that was not my problem. The thing was that I was talking about it, and somehow everything went to nothing. Like, all my efforts didn't go anywhere. So what I needed was actually something that would go further than that. That would give me more insight than simply, oh, that's why I'm in pain. You know what I mean? I needed more. So that was when I started to become a coach in 2018. And this is why we are here, right? This is what we are trying to do. So let's actually really start into today's video, because I find it quite important to really, really talk about this topic. And there are many people who are saying something like, yeah, he really or she really has narcissistic traits and very self-absorbed, and this is the problem, and blah blah blah. And I understand, especially if you have been grown up in an environment with maybe parents or with whoever you got raised, right? Maybe even your teacher, who was very, very only looking after themselves and didn't really look into how you feel and taking your feelings into consideration. And then it's very easy to say that one is a narcissist, It's very, very easy. But the thing is that when we are saying that, we are also speaking about our own wounds, especially when we are grown up. We talk about, why am I never seen? Why am I never heard? Why am I constantly feeling that I have no importance. And what we are talking about here is that you are getting again into that field where you can potentially learn something about yourself, learn about this has been missing. Now you may say, well, yeah, that's obvious. I mean, right? That's obvious because it comes with a lot of that person over there. It's their fault, and I need to be considered. See, the question is, do you consider yourself? Do you consider that what you have to say has value? Now you may say yes. And I'm saying this over and over again to the people over there, and they're not listening. The thing is, do you believe yourself? Do you actually really speak up to yourself and break that kind of curse? Do you really speak up? Do you really say something that is actually in your highest good? Or are you kind of trying that the other person is understanding you? I find that so crucial because, see, wanting someone to understand something, while we are using this term way too often, it's not so much about that other person, okay? It's really, really not. Whatever you have there, whatever is awful there, and I'm not saying that you should stay in a situation that is awful and painful for you. Absolutely not. I would be the first one who would start to have a really deep conversation with you. The thing here is, let's get into what you can do from your point of view. What can you do to feel empowered? What can you do to not put any fool into that person reacting that way, right? And it's not about, hey, I'm trying to what's going on today? I'm not trying to manipulate that other person. It's about what can I do to really stand in my ground. See, they can only say something to you that makes you this small because you at one point think that that is true. You're giving your power away, right? You're not standing in your truth, which is why this channel is so important. And actually there are so many more videos supporting exactly this, right? Because it's about getting more in alignment with who you are. The more you are in alignment and the more you know who you are from deep within, and this will change over time, but the more you feel this own inner balance, right? The more you start to go there and the more you start to inhale and really stand here, the more you are doing that, the less anyone can really take anything away from you. It's actually a belief that someone else has the power to do that. No one does. No one, I tell you, no one does. And it's so easy to go into this field and say, yeah, but that person is actually mistreating me. And the thing is, see, that's maybe true. I cannot say from this point of view. And we are not talking, once again, we are not talking about someone who really has narcissistic or a mental narcissistic disorder, okay? We are talking about the person who is very self-absorbed, very egocentric, who is in our daily life, who just tries to always get your approval. And it's not necessarily in the sickness or in the mental disorder area. It's more about that person may have never received attention or love, and it's not into the full area of a disorder. Okay, so please get this right, because there is only a really small percentage who really has this trait. Okay, and even for them, I feel deeply, because the truth is that they got it because of a wound, and it's not because they want to hurt you or they want to always be on the top. They have their own wound and they are dealing with it, unfortunately, not on a very nice way. Okay, so let's leave them aside and let's look into what you could do for yourself to really stand more in your truth. So ask yourself this: what can I do to stand so much in my power that I will be able to set boundaries? I will be able to say no. I will be able to actually be in pretty uncertain and uncomfortable situations, because that's what this is all about. It will feel really awkward and really shaky, because you're getting into a position you have never been in. Okay, and if you're saying, but I already did that, well, maybe you didn't do it with the right posture. Maybe you didn't do it with the right intention. Maybe you didn't do it with the right words. And maybe you haven't really tried. I don't know. So you have to try that out. And it will be a try and an error phase until you are using your posture, you're using your voice, you're using your hands, maybe, if that works for you. But all of it, all of what you're doing needs to come from a place that is calm and that is in alignment with who you are. As an example, if you have something like this in your work area and you're like, but I can't say something like this to my boss. I can't say no. I can't, right? Because if I'm losing my job, blah, 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 the whole story starts going on. What about if you open up your options first? What about if you start thinking, okay, I can't run away. I cannot really say my truth yet. And I can't really share this with my coworkers or whatever, because then it's going to be a little shaky even more, and I you could work actually on your grounding practices. You could start to really dig into yourself, which means that you take yourself the time in the morning and in the evening for the next 30 days, and you start to really do this 10 minutes long or so, 5-10 minutes, and you just breathe. And you just come back. Every single time your mind goes somewhere, you come back. You return home. You return home. However painful it may be, you return home. That is the goal, ultimately, to really get into this balance, right? When you're getting home and you feel safe, and you feel seen from yourself, you feel heard, and you understand that pain, right? You see, when I started practicing this, I actually really started to cry and to shake. My body was really literally doing this, because it was processing the emotions that came up. And this is what actually really helped me to express myself deeply and more truthfully. And at one point, you don't care too much anymore if that person gets it or not. To be honest, if you're standing in front of your boss and you're saying no, what does he really want to do about your no? You're more scared of the what ifs than this is actually going to happen, right? Will they fire you? Well, I don't know, right? I don't know. The question then is it the right position for you, right? Now, I'm not saying you should quit, because I feel that every single time we are quitting too soon, that same situation is coming back. And I mean, seriously, I have done this so many times. Running away is not an option at this point. See, it's so in your face. It's this close, right? This close, that you cannot really say, bye, I'm gone. You can't, okay? You can't. You gotta face it, but you can face it slowly. You can start practicing for 30 days. Maybe after 5 days, 4 days, maybe even after 3 days, you start realizing the shift. The shift is happening internally. It's because you're more present, okay? Being present means that I actually feel the other person more. I feel myself more. And because of that, I'm making smart decisions, not decisions that actually are way more painful because I'm just overdoing it, right? I used to get very impulsive when I felt my borders are crossed or my boundaries are crossed. I felt like I need to get like super, super angry, right? That's how I used to communicate. And I would show them my anger and I would, go there. Well, maybe that's your path too. Maybe this is how you have to express yourself until you can balance this, right? Give yourself the approval that it may not go smooth. That's okay. That's okay. What you really need to start to do is to first get back here, get calm, sleep over it. Very important. And if on the next day you really want to go there and you want to have this talk, make sure that you are prepared. Prepare yourself is key for this one. Okay, you need a little bit of structure. This is what helped me through most of my conversations. I had to hold back because I had to sort my emotions, okay? You don't want to have this conversation with your boss or with a coworker in a state like freaking out, okay? This is not cool, not cool. And it's not about not cool for them, it's not cool for you, because then you're like, I could have done this a little bit more at ease, with a little bit, See, when people are speaking to you and they want to be adored and they want to be seen and all of that, and we are like, you're so needy, why do you need me so much? And you are getting triggered by that, it's because you have a wound there too. It's because you may have not been seen either. You see, maybe you have never really felt acknowledged, right? And maybe that's one of your biggest wounds too, and that's why you are here, my friend. And I know this sucks. It sucks, right? It really does. It really, really, really does. It's not cool, right? But I tell you what, it will get a little bit easier with the time. It will get easier because the more you're here and connected to here, and I mean the mind and the connection and the soul and the heart, the easier it will get, okay? And the easier it will be to have conversations that are maybe super, super emotional. But now, because you're back into who you are, and because you trained and maybe you fell, because of that, you know that What they think of you is not so much important. What is really important is what you think about yourself. And it's important that you give yourself the love you need. It's important that in that conversation, you're like, I'm so proud of me that I have actually chosen myself, that I have gone into a difficult situation where I didn't know what is coming out. And I'm so proud that I stood up for myself. I'm so proud that I went there. Okay? And in addition, feel some compassion for that other person who may not be as far as you, or maybe that's not their path at all. Feel compassion. Try to feel compassion for someone who is different. Because we are not here to make this blame shit. We are not here to do that. And I know you have been hurt. I have been hurt. And pretty much everyone has on this planet, is because never, ever all of our needs can be met. And we have to acknowledge that this is what it is. And the sooner we are understanding this and we are getting into peace, into alignment, we feel just more connected. And this is what we all want, or most of us, right? See, when we start to awaken, we start to see the world very, very differently, which is what we are going through on this course, on the Woman's Circle. We will look into this and what it actually really means to wake up, because it's a difficult time. It's a difficult time to start to wake up to so many truths that maybe before you've never questioned. You've never questioned situations. You just thought to be quiet or not to respond. And now all of a sudden you feel like the urge to speak up. And you see that the world you're living in is very, very self-centered. And you're like, what's going on? You start to wake up to another reality. And that's sometimes very disturbing. And it's very, very uncertain maybe, right? And it can really panic you, because there is not something like everyone understands what you're going through. It's really hard to explain. Words always fall short, always. They are never really there, okay? Never. So let's put this one more time together. First, don't look at them and label them as narcissist. It's actually used when people have a mental disorder. And so labeling them may give us comfort, but it's not really true. Okay? There are people around who have very self-centered patterns, but it's because they have been in a wounded place, and many of us have. And so that's why this term is coming up more and more and more, but it doesn't mean that we all have this mental disorder. And there are actually people who are narcissists? Yeah, now we got it. Who are very, very much working on themselves, even more than many, many other people. So a bit compassion, please, right? But not only for them, also please for yourself, for your pain, for what you have gone through. That's number one, okay? Don't label people, because it puts them in a box which may not be true. And it's not really about you telling them, hey, this is who you are. It's on you to find out who you are. That's the most important thing here, okay? Number two, get yourself centered. And I mean by that, train yourself to really, really be in alignment and be present. Be present to yourself with your breath. So this is how it looks like, right? It's quite simple. You start to breathe in. You start to hold, or you hold your breath, and you release. And all the emotions that come in, and all the thinking and the thoughts that are coming in, you just let them pass, but you remain centered. And this needs to be trained, because we are so distracted. We are so distracted, and we don't even see that. We don't realize that. So we have to train it in order to really stand in our truth. That's number 2. Number 3, before you're making any decision, anything, when you're upset, wait, please, wait. Don't go into drama zone, okay? No drama. No explosive conversation. Hold it. This is really the only place where I tell you to hold it, simply because you need to learn how to regulate your emotions. You need to learn what is really in your truth and what comes from a wounded place. Acting from a wounded place at this stage is not okay. It's not cool. Okay? You are on this channel because you want to learn more about yourself. You want to learn to talk in in your highest possible way. Okay? And that's for sure not drama, no screaming, no nothing like this. Okay? Make a plan. Structure really, really helps. Make a plan. What do you want to say? Look at it. Speak it out. Train yourself. Look in the mirror. What is it that you represent while you're speaking? What posture are you making? Is it something that is showing you confidence, like from within? Is it showing presence? Is it showing weakness, maybe? Are you making yourself small? Are you trying to tell them all the time sorry for not providing what they want? Don't do that, by the way. So as a ding-ding kind of thing. Don't excuse yourself for not wanting to do something or not being in alignment with what they have to say. You're not here on this planet to say all the time yes. You are here, and you learn this by children. They say no most often. They don't want to do anything. They don't want to do what you're asking them to do. And all of a sudden we learn as adults that, hey, by the way, saying no is not cool. You need to say yes to actually make other people feel better about themselves. Well, too bad for them at this moment. You need to learn to understand that you can offer, or someone can offer something, and it's on the plate, it's offered. But you can decide yes or no. It's not a hell yes just because someone puts it on the plate. That's not how the world works. That's not how we work. That's not what you're supposed to do here. You're supposed to find or be in your truth. And if this is not what makes you feel good about yourself, right? If this is not coming from the highest place, then you may say no, or you may say, listen, this is actually, could we do it like this? Be open for compromise, right? Be open to compromise. Make a compromise. We are human beings that are actually here to make compromises, right? With the right people, with the right choices, we can actually make a compromise that is good for us and good for them. It's not about us only or them only. It's about we, okay? Was there something else? I think we're good. I think we're good. I hope that this video has clarified something. Now, once again, if you are in a state where you just got to know a lot of truths and you're like, I've learned so much already. I'm trying to understand even more, and you want to look for a coach or find more opportunities to really dig into where you want to go, then book a discovery call, right? Let's have a look in what is possible for you. And with this said, also leave a comment and let me know if this video has helped you. I know it may have been a little bit different than what you're used to, but we will go more and more into the direction that I have just showed you, simply because I stopped labeling people that much. I stopped putting people so much in a frame, because I personally don't like that at all, because it limits me so much in where I want to go. And I feel like that's more true for me. So you figure out what is the truest for you, okay? It's always, always, always important. If you're new here, I'm saying this quite often, but I'm going to repeat it maybe over and over again. Take really what resonates, okay? And if you need to make adjustments because it's too hard, because you can only do one of the three, or maybe you have to first start a breathing technique, or you first have to journal and find your own inner wounding, whatever, then please do adjust and return to this video to a time when you are ready to hear it. And so that's so important that you know that that's totally okay too. Totally. Okay? So really from my heart to yours, we speak very, very soon. Probably next week I'm going to announce the Women's Circle, so stay tuned for that. And I'm super, super excited for your comments, and give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. And let's spread this video a little bit for someone who really needs it. With this said, thanks so much, and bye.